Erin Lichy, welcome to Live from Bed.
Yeah, I love it.
Is Lichy a Jewish last name?
It's Turkish.
Okay.
My husband's dad is half Greek and half Turkish, and his mom's from Cuba.
Wow.
Our
Is he
kids are
Jewish though?
months. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's spelled like you can probably picture it more as a Turkish name with the way it was originally spelled, which was Lici, I think.
Okay.
Like lychee.
But it is really Lichy.
But it's lychee, like when you, yeah.
So I'm married to a Jewish person. So I'm Jewish by injection, I like to say.
That's cute.
And but I didn't change my last name, but he has an incredible last name.
What is it?
It's Satin.
That's
but I feel like we
great.
both got not so Jewish last name.
That's a really good one. My maiden name is very Jewish.
Is it? What is it?
Yitzhari.
Oh, I love that so much.
I kind of love it too.
I kind of love
it's
that.
Israeli. I'm kind of like bummed that I didn't keep it, but it just was so long. Erin Yitzhari, Lichy.
Right. Was it like
I
a
could've
thing
done
for
it,
you?
though.
Like, were you like, will I change my last name or not? Or was it
I mean,
just a
my dad
definite?
was like, you keep both. But I don't, you know what? I honestly didn't change my name for years.
Really?
For years.
Well,
But
I mean, the
then
paperwork
my
alone.
son is 9.
Okay.
And like, we were getting their passports and I'm like, it's just too difficult. Like,
Totally.
You know what I mean?
I mean, that paperwork is just daunting. You just don't want to
It's
do
just
that.
annoying. Like, and who cares?
My husband's last name is really like Usatinsky, but they changed it like
To
Ellis
Satin?
Island to Satin.
Wow.
I would have changed it. I mean, maybe, I don't know. But my name is a color and his name is a fabric.
Yeah.
So it just was,
How cute.
Jade Satin is like a hard left.
That's
you know
a
what
great,
I mean?
yeah, it's a great
It's,
one.
it's like a little porn starry. It's a little,
It is
you know,
a little.
it's a little.
I kind of like
Yeah,
it.
it's very. It could be my stage name.
Are you going to take it?
No, I mean we're already married. We're a year and a half in. It's
oh, you
not
just got
happening.
married then.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But I saw you got married at 25.
Crazy.
So crazy.
Child bride.
Child baby
bride and teen mom.
Where did you guys meet?
We met at a bar.
Okay.
Yep. We met at a
Classic.
bar on the Lower East Side. We were kind of introduced. I was at my friend's. I was actually studying for law school.
Oh, no way.
And I was not going out. I was like so over guys. I'd been dating a bunch of guys and like flying around and being kind of wild.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's it. I'm studying for law school. I'm going to law school. And my best friend from growing up is married to Abe's first cousin. So
Wow.
we're like all family now. But my best guy friend in the world, he's like, just come to this pregame, like just come over. It's a few blocks from your house. Just like, let's go out. I'm like, I'm not going out. I'm studying. He's like, well, there might be a guy that you should meet later. Like that's how he was luring me in. I'm like, fine, maybe I'll come out for a little. So I went to their house. We all went downtown and like Abe and I saw each other and that was just it. Yeah.
Wow.
We weren't looking for marriage. He wasn't at all. Like we
How
were
old's
having
he?
fun.
Like how much older?
He's 4 years older.
Okay. So yeah, but I feel like that's a really good, because I love to cancel plans. I love to like say I'm going to go to something and then not do
Same.
it. So I feel like that's a good omen for people. Like it's like, go to the thing you don't want to go to.
It's true.
You know?
It's really true. Like I could have so stayed home.
Could you imagine?
And I was doing that like for like that past month.
Right.
But yeah, everything changed
so
that night. Yeah, so
crazy.
crazy.
Okay. So I love that you're in LA, but I have to ask you, how are you really?
I'm okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm okay. I have my moments. I think I'm in like grief is a weird thing and I didn't really understand it, but I'm starting to, unfortunately. I think that I'm in a stage of denial. So I don't really know right now. It's almost like it's just like not really real.
Yeah. Because I mean, I can't even believe that you're sitting in front of me right
Yeah.
now, you know, but is your coping mechanism working?
Right now it is.
Yeah.
Like I think that we went through a really therapeutic stage right after because we all flew to Israel.
Wow.
And it was me and my siblings and it was just us, no significant others. And we were just together. And
so
we
nice.
do Shiva, which is 7 days of like mourning where you just mourn and like you just kind of get it all out of your system. It doesn't all come out of your system, but
Right.
like you're really just focused on that. And it was just like nice that we were all together.
Yeah, I love that tradition so much because my husband's grandmother died last week. And so
Oh,
we had,
sorry.
like, we were very close to her and we loved her, but we just did that whole thing and I'm new to it. And it's such a beautiful practice,
It
you know,
is.
like getting to really sit in it and like talk about the person, celebrate
Yeah.
the person, because it's too abrupt to like go from them dying back to real life.
It's just like not possible.
Totally.
You know, so like that ends, and then almost like coming back into the real world was just jarring and kind of weird, because also we were just all together, and like we would like have our sibling inside jokes and our humor.
Yeah.
And that was like the only stuff like that would make us laugh. And then now we're like back. So we're all kind of like, should we go back to Israel? But
what an incredible thing to do it there.
well, that was my dad knew he was going to pass. Like
Okay.
it was very fast, and we don't have to get into the whole thing, but he told me Wednesday, I am leaving on Saturday on Motzei Shabbat, which is when Shabbat ends.
Wow.
He passed away at 7:37, which is the exact minute. Like he was very spiritual, very connected, very deep man. And he kind of decided that, and he told us on Sunday, we're all going to fly. And that's where the burial would be, you know?
Wow.
And so like, we just honored what he wanted.
That's incredible. Like my husband's grandmother died on Rosh Hashanah, and she was
wow.
so spiritual like that too. And I'm just
Really?
like, I feel like
They say that that's like the holiest time to
Yes.
pass right before the new year. It's like a very special.
it's incredible.
Yeah.
Like I was stunned. I was like, you have some powers that I just was unaware of. Like
Yeah.
it really is so incredible.
It is.
What are you doing for the high holidays?
The minute I go home like really early tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like my flight is crack of dawn. And I land and get in a car and head straight to the Hamptons, and we're going to do it out there.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
That is so nice. So we were just talking about your babies, and you have 3 incredible children who are
Thank you.
so objectively cute.
Aw,
They
thank
really
you.
are good looking,
Thank
you know?
you.
Like, no, like really
They're
they
pretty
are.
good looking.
And
They're cute.
they're so cute.
They're good kids.
I
They're
love
good,
watching
good
them.
kids.
Was it
Thank
ever
you.
a question like whether you'd let them be on the show or not?
You know, for me, like I let them make the decision.
Yeah.
Like if you want to do this at this moment, you can. If you don't feel like being in an episode, you don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really funny because the first season we would film, like there was one scene that we were filming and the kids were kind of just in the background. My son was like, why aren't they miking me up? Like he wanted to be part of it. So
Yeah.
like, okay, we were like, let's get him a mic.
That's
you know, but
amazing.
sometimes they just weren't interested. So I feel like as long as it's their decision,
Yeah.
you know, and they're really not like a big part of it. They're
Right.
they're so little.
No, but you just get to look at them and they're so
They're
cute
just
and
so
sweet.
cute. Yeah, they're
but I
sweet.
was watching because I did like a marathon these past few days and anticipating this interview. And I even saw like so much of your dad. I kind of forgot how much of that
Yeah,
he
he's
was
a big
in.
part. He's a big part of this season, which would be very difficult for me.
I mean, I can imagine.
But yeah, he was a big part of he's a big part of my life.
Right.
I mean, he's my closest. He was my call like 4 times a day.
Wow.
Yeah,
I know I read your post and you were like, you know, you'd make us call you every day. And
every day. He was furious with my husband like in August because he was like, I called you 3 times, you don't answer. Like he was very connected. I mean, they were really close. So he's very connected to us. And it's something that's so special that like I learned with my kids that I feel like you wouldn't normally, why are you supposed to talk all the time? But it's like
Right.
just hearing each other's voices, checking in, it just made him feel connected.
it's funny because like I think Italians, and which is
Very
the culture I
similar.
come from, and Jews are very, very similar,
very
right?
similar.
And so my dad grew up in such an Italian household, and I think he was, you know, he saw his parents' obligations as like not traumatic for him, but he was like, oh, I'm not going to make my kids, like they'll always have the option to show up for things, right?
Right.
And then I married into this very Jewish family, which
There's
is
no
so much
option.
like, there's no option.
Nope.
There's no option,
No.
but they show the fuck up. They
Yeah.
show up, like, and they talk to their parents and their grandparents constantly. And it's 3 boys, you know, my husband's one of 3
Oh,
boys.
cute.
And it's just like this incredible culture that I
Yeah.
feel so lucky to like be a part
Aw.
of, you know?
Did you watch the show, that new show?
Yes, I did.
That's very apropos
no,
for you.
and I'm a podcaster. The whole
That's really funny.
I know,
It's
like,
so good.
it's so good.
I had to reach out to Erin. I was like, this is fucking incredible.
It's
Like,
amazing.
it's amazing.
It's really, it was so fun to watch. I just like loved it. But yeah, I am the shiksa in that family.
Yeah.
But it's amazing. Like, and you realize obligation isn't necessarily like a bad thing.
It's a good
you know?
thing. Yeah. I think like when you're younger, it's irritating.
Right, because you have Shabbat on Friday. You
Yeah.
can't go out with your friends or whatever.
But you always go out after.
Right, 100%.
It's like you have a nice little belly warmer and
Yeah.
then you go to dinner and have a night.
Do you guys do Shabbat?
Every Friday.
Every Friday.
Yeah. It's just like it's less about the religion and more about just like getting everyone together. You know?
I loved Shabbat, like even growing up, because I grew up in LA. So everyone was Jewish. Sure. And I would go to Shabbat because my friends couldn't hang out unless we were all at Shabbat. And I loved it. Like it was such a nice practice.
It's really nice.
So let's talk about Erin in LA.
Okay.
I love that you're in LA.
I like it too.
I like that you like Erewhon.
Oh.
Can we just give it up for Erewhon?
I literally was walking through being like, this is my dream market.
What did you like about it?
First of all, it's so organized.
How
it's
overpriced
so clean.
it is.
I'm used to that. I live in New York City. It kind of reminds me of like the Provisions. It's like Provisions on steroids. So this one was like a big version of that. Like the food was amazing. They had all this like prepared food. And I was just, I don't know, it's just perfect.
Did you go for breakfast or lunch?
No, I went and I like had my car service, stopped there on the way to the hotel. Cause I was like, I'm not going to eat the shit that they're going to have like in the room. I want like good like stuff.
Yeah. And
I just wanted to check it out because my sister's obsessed.
Oh my God, you have to like come back and bring your kids. Like, it's amazing.
It's amazing.
So
I want the smoothie though. I haven't.
Oh, you got to have like the Hailey Biebers. I got to do the whole shebang Shabbat. Okay, so what would LA Erin be? Like, what would she be like?
I'd probably really get into my like hippie vibe.
Do you have that side of you?
Yeah, totally. I'm like such a music head, and like I used to go to festivals and like travel around to see music. That's how Abe and I really like got connected, because that's what we were into at the same time.
Amazing.
I feel like I'd spend a lot of time outside hiking.
Yeah.
Which I do none of in New York. I go to a gym. I go to Pilates. Like I'm very like, you know.
I'm like allergic to hiking. Like the hiking.
I think I would love it.
I can see that.
I think I would love it.
You'd be in Erewhon hiking. I mean, I think you'd do
I'd
very
be so
well.
Annoying. I'd hate myself. I literally fucking hate myself.
I think you would do very well.
But I don't know, because it's like, it sounds so nice. But I think on a daily basis, I would go a little nuts.
Yeah, because I feel like you're quick. Like I feel like you're like, let's hurry up. Let's do it. You know?
Yes,
I'm like slow. Like, oh, what time is it? Okay.
So nice.
Yeah. Like, are you late?
No, not with work things.
Yeah.
If it's like an event, I like to be a little bit late.
Totally.
If my husband's waiting for me, I'm typically late.
Every time.
You know? But like not with work, I'm there on time.
In LA, you have to get used to being late.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's late. The traffic is horrible.
That would drive me nuts.
Yeah. Do you like being alone?
I feel like a little bit.
Are you ever alone with your kids?
I'm like really never alone.
Yeah.
I do like when Abe has something to do at night and my kids are all in bed, like I cherish it. But I think if it was like for an extended period of time, I'd go crazy.
Yeah, no, you know? For sure. In LA, you'd like have to be alone a lot. You're in your car. You know, there's not like a lot of.
I don't know. I don't think that's suburbia is just not for me. It's not even LA. It's like suburbia.
Just in general.
Yeah, I need to like walk somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, walking.
I need to walk. I like need to walk.
Really?
Yes.
Like it's so good for you, but like
I just need need to like go. Like sometimes I just leave my apartment and go to like get a coffee or like run an errand just because like I need to get out and walk.
Right. I mean, as we saw on the show, you're not Staten Island. You're born and raised New York.
I mean, if like the amount of times I say that I'm from New York is just really comical at this point. I'm just going to lean into it at this point. I am from Manhattan.
I get it. I'm born and raised LA. Like there are not a lot of people that are born and raised.
Like not to be an asshole, but there aren't many cultural activities in Staten Island. So it's like not just saying I'm from Brooklyn. It's
my entire family, they come from Brooklyn, but they lived in Staten Island. So I would go to Staten Island every Thanksgiving, and
there's nothing to do there.
There's nothing.
So it's like, I mean, it's beautiful. It's pretty if you're running over the Verrazano. I ran the marathon. It was a beautiful run.
Okay.
It was like the first part of the run was running over the Verrazano. I was like, wow, like who knew Staten Island had a view like this? But other than that.
No, like if someone said to me, like, you're from Pasadena and I'm not from Pasadena, you know what I mean? I'd be like, no, I'm not. I'm from the city.
And she wasn't saying it in a nice way.
Yeah, like, well, exactly. It was derogatory for sure.
Please.
I mean, after she said to you, your hair looks cute. Are you going through something? I would have flown across the fucking couch.
I don't think she realized what she was saying. Yeah. You know, I'm going to give her that.
Okay. I would have freaked out.
I was... Yeah, looking back, it's like a lot of things. I like feel like I was overly apologetic too, and whatever.
Yeah, you were dealing with a lot. This season.
And people didn't know that I was dealing with my dad relapsing. He had lung cancer. He was a smoker. He was a very healthy person. Mm-hmm. He was cured, and then it kind of came back because he smoked again, and that was also happening. And I didn't talk about it, so no one knew. But you know, it was a charged time.
I mean, this must be the hardest time in your life.
I mean, and not to be whatever, but I'm very honest about my upbringing. things were always kind of like nice and like
Yeah.
easy. And, my parents were divorced when I was little. Like that's not like the craziest thing, but that was probably my biggest thing. And yeah, I mean, it just everything coming down on you at once. It's just a lot.
Really intense.
just
And
a lot.
you're your mom's only child, right?
Yeah, but she's okay though.
You thank God. I
Thank
saw you
God.
on Watch What Happens
Yeah,
Live.
she's good.
I mean, I can't believe like you were even standing for that.
Well, when I heard what it was for,
Right.
That my mom was going to come.
Right.
And
for
she
breast
was like
cancer
all
awareness.
about it. Like, how could how could I say no?
Your family's so supportive of you in the show. Like even from the first episode, it's like
Yeah.
your brothers. Like
Oh my God. They're awesome. They don't like take it that seriously.
it's so sweet.
It's cute.
I feel like if I ever joined anything like that, my family would be like, fuck you. Like absolutely
They
not.
don't care. They're just like, whatever. Like they don't think it's like so, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I love watching it because it like feels like what I grew up with, like with my Italian kind of family
Yeah.
and like my husband's family. It's so nice to see that. So let's talk about RHONY.
Okay.
I mean, I can't believe it's been 2 seasons.
I can't either. It's really flown.
If you had to relive season 1 or season 2.
Definitely season 2, even though it was a really hard year for me.
Yeah.
Not in the sense of like my year personally, but nothing
Right.
going into something like this. You can prepare, you can watch reality TV, but nothing is like experiencing it at all.
I can't imagine like how long it takes you to just get used to the cameras being there.
That actually happens really quickly.
Does it?
Yeah.
Because they say, like I've heard other people say, like other housewives say, like, oh, you forget that they're
You
there.
totally forget. And the fun thing is, like, I feel like, and if you're listening, I love you all. I feel like our crew was so cool.
Oh, that's
Like
great.
really, like I love the audio guy. I love the cameraman. Like I love,
Yeah.
I love them. Like they're our friends.
Right.
So like if I'd say something funny and I'd see them like chuckle, I'd be like, oh yeah.
It's like
that
having
was
an
good. Like it
audience.
was fun. Like
Totally.
that part really was not weird, oddly. But what is strange is getting used to having like parts of your life filmed and then being done with it and then reliving it and then dealing with like the issues with the group after it's already been resolved. That's what's hard.
And you hear like what they say about you in confessionals, and you're like,
Right.
I didn't hear that the
Right.
first time around. And like I would be a bad housewife.
I think
feel
you'd be
like,
good.
oh my God. Well, the thing is like what I want to talk to you about is like having all these opinions about your relationship, like you're going through right now.
Yeah.
Like that must be, it's hard enough being in a marriage and wonderful and whatever, all those things. But like having these outside perspectives that only know this little snippet of you and then they're going to comment on it is like a trip.
I think the relationship stuff, like for us, I'm actually so proud of my husband because when we were going through all of that, he said to me, I mean, I wasn't going to bring it up on camera.
Oh, really?
No. And he said to me, if you want to bring up the stuff that we went through this year, like I'm fine with it.
That's really generous.
And I was like, why?
Yeah.
And he's like, because it's what we're going through right now.
Right.
And you decided to do this and let's just like, I'm okay with it.
Wow.
I was like, okay.
That's
So
incredible.
it helped because that was going on for me in the background, and like I did get mad at him for saying a mushroom comment when it wasn't about the mushroom. He was just pissing me off.
No, my husband would do the exact, like my husband is a talker.
I did it too, though.
Right, exactly. They like,
Like, I
went
wasn't
back.
there.
No, totally. But like my husband would be like, he'd be like, you want me to be myself? I'm gonna be my full self.
And that's it.
You know?
That's
Yeah.
it. He's like, don't control my
Right.
words. But like, I don't. It was just because,
Yeah,
and I think
because of all
and
the-
it was sweet because he was like, we can talk about it because that's obviously what was going on for
Yeah.
you. So when we did, like we had made that decision together. So first of all, when you're in a relationship and you're on a show, if you're just exposing things about the other, then it's fucked up. And then it's hard to deal with the comments. But if we went into this, both of us, to like being like, okay, we're going to talk about this and
Yeah.
it's personal and blah, blah, blah. So we knew that we were going to have like some backlash, but I have to be honest, mostly people are like, thank you for being so honest about a topic that people are not normally honest about.
Totally.
We're not perfect. And like, why act like we are?
Yeah.
You know?
Do you not read the comments? Like I
Not always,
Yeah.
but Abe does. He's a lawyer.
Oh my God.
He's like, he does like quick searches and he finds out like the thesis.
That's hard. Even if I won that argument that we had behind closed doors or on camera, and then someone said something online that was like on my husband's side or something. It's just like, it's hard
I've
to
gotten
have.
stuff like he's cheating on you and
Jesus
da-da-da.
Christ.
But like, it's so like, I know he's not.
So did you have a conversation before you started? Is there something that's off limits as far as the cameras go?
Abe and I are oddly in tune with each other. So I feel like we just know, you know, like we know not to do anything to embarrass our children ever.
Right.
We're not going to like talk shit about our parents, things like that. And we just know. So we didn't really have a conversation.
No in-law drama, but you're not going to have, when you had the Bitcoin conversation, you would have had other conversations outside of just on camera.
Oh, we were in a much better place then.
Yeah. So then you
like
can revisit
this was before we started filming. We were going through this in like February. So we had been through it. And it was still there for me because it was so fresh. But thank God it wasn't happening right in the middle of filming. That would have been really tough, you know?
Really impossible.
Like we had worked through it, you know?
You got to have a healthy fucking relationship.
I mean,
to get
yeah,
through reality TV.
but the other thing is like sometimes relationships that are healthy get crazy and like get toxic and like you say shit you don't mean and whatever. But like the thing is if you can communicate through it, then I think you'll be okay. But the problem is with a lot of relationships, in my opinion, is people don't talk enough. Like they don't communicate how they really feel or they don't know how.
Yeah.
So
and do you let that world get into your real world? Like let's say they point out an issue that you guys have never discussed, but maybe is lying dormant somewhere. Like
Like what? Like what do you mean?
I don't know. Like if let's say me and my husband were on it and they said, oh, like the way that your wife looks at you when you get dressed. I'm like completely making this up.
Right.
You know, like something that's like we've never spoken about, but that all of a sudden is being brought up. Do you kind of not let that penetrate like into your real life?
Sort of. Like, I mean, people made comments the first time. Like, I'll use Jessel as an example. They were like, oh, the way she talks to her husband, but she's like, that's just how we talk. You know, so I think like she still is how she is. People also have to get used to you.
Completely.
Like I think like Sai, for example, had a tough first season because people weren't used to her. Now people seem to like her because they're used to this is how she talks. She's a direct New Yorker. I'm so happy that people get her now because she's honestly great. You know, she's really great.
Completely.
She's so cool and normal. So it's like, I think sometimes, yes, like it's a mirror, but also it just takes people time to get used to like the way you talk and the way you are. And then once they do, it's just different.
Yeah. Like I didn't realize that you kind of grew up with Scott Disick.
Oh, yeah.
Like in the Hamptons, that whole world. Did you ask him for advice before entering this world?
No, but I did not ask him for advice. I do not want his advice. Love you, but do not need your advice.
Yeah, because he really went through it like hardcore.
Oh, yeah. I was with him at a wedding a few years ago, and he's truly the same on and off. He's funny. He's great. And you know, he seems like he's in a really good place.
Yeah, no, I think so. I root for Scott hardcore. I love
Me too. He's great.
He's amazing.
He's great. He gets a lot of shit. He got a lot of shit. And it's like his parents freaking both died like within a year and a half. I felt so bad for him.
No, I'm Team Scott. I love Scott.
Yeah.
Okay, so no, this is really, I'm so curious about this. So when you were talking to your husband and, you know, you guys were talking about the Bitcoin of it all and the whole thing. And then you said something that I think is getting slept on because of the Bitcoin conversation.
Okay.
You said, you know, I didn't need to get married. I was flying around with.
Oh, gosh.
Who were you flying around with?
Oh, my gosh. I don't know if I'm going to name drop. But I'll tell you this. I had a lot of famous friends at the time, like a lot.
Yeah.
I was out at Mondays at Butter, the rest of the nights at Bungalow 8. Like we had my girlfriend, I got asked these questions in preparation to Watch What Happens Live because they did that like funny like game with me. Like, did Erin do this or not? And I have this group chat with my two girlfriends from high school. And I was like, okay, give me some of the club stories. And like, I forgot about how crazy our club nights were. Like Axl Rose and me got into like a thing one night.
I love that so much.
I rolled a joint for John Mayer once. We used to hang out with DJ AM like every night at Stereo.
Oh,
I mean, we had like a crazy, crazy life.
So you lived because you got married young.
That's
but, like,
why.
You lived.
That's why. Because I had gone through it all. I was so over it. I was so tired of like going out with guys. And like one weekend I'd be in Salt Lake City for Sundance. And then the next day I was in Cannes. And like I was really bopping around. I was so tired of it, you know, and just like
you're ready to settle down.
I was. Yeah, I was.
Damn. How old were you when you had your first kid?
I think I got pregnant at 27.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like, that's not that
28.
young.
No, but in the city, it's teen mom.
Is it?
My friends all called me teen mom.
Really?
Yeah, it was the first one.
Did you not have any friends that had kids?
One. And that was his cousin.
Oh, no way.
Yes.
Because that's my fear. I'm like, okay, I'm rounding that corner where I'm like kind of ready to start.
You'll make them.
Yeah.
You know, you just need one.
Yeah.
You really just need one person to go through with it. Luckily for me, my cousin Dahlia and I, Abe's first cousin,
Yeah.
like we were pregnant together the first 2 times.
That's so nice.
So it was nice. Like our kids are cousins and they're
Right.
also best friends and they were born together.
Yeah, because I feel like you need that when you become a mom.
At least one.
At least one.
Yeah.
And like all my friends are like, you know, I'm 30. So like everyone's
My friends
in
are just
different
starting
directions.
now.
Really?
Or not just starting,
Right,
but like
but, like,
having their second or their third. Like this is all happening now.
Totally. The ages on your franchise are so spread out. I feel like everyone's.
Yeah, it's funny. Whenever I look at articles online, they don't know what ages. Like they don't.
Right.
They keep saying the wrong age.
I couldn't believe. I think Jenna Lyons said she's 15 years older.
She's 56 and I'm 37. So.
Right. Wow.
Well, she's actually 20 years older than me.
Wow.
Yeah.
You don't notice that at all. Like
No, and she was like my closest friend.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Yeah.
That's so crazy. Okay, so when you started, what was your biggest fear?
I didn't have any.
Really?
Isn't that weird to
like
say?
that's why you started.
I really
right?
was just like, all right. It was so fast too, the way it all happened for me. It wasn't like I was in talks with them for a while. I didn't really have time to think.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that must be so crazy. You're going from like this normal life to then like being in front of this huge. Bravo fans are.
Oh my gosh.
I'm one of them. We are crazy.
Yes.
We are ravenous. We are in it, you know?
Oh, I went through a bunch of shit first season.
They
gave it to me. Oh, Jessel. Right. Like, I didn't even say half the shit that they're accusing me for.
Like, it's crazy.
I didn't even say it either. I'm just laughing with my friend. And
you know, I really feel like justice for you for the Jeff Lewis interview. You didn't say anything. You just said, I don't think so. And then he said something. Like, if I say something right now that you don't say, you're going to get in trouble for it.
But like the annoying thing watching it back multiple times was that he asked me point blank and I said,
no,
honestly, no.
Right.
But she just was not and still really is not having it. It's not how she sees it. But you know what? I can this is the thing. I have empathy and I can understand the other side where it's like that to her is a very offensive thing for anyone to say. And what she really wanted was for me to be like, don't say that about her and da-da-da. And I get that. Which is why I apologize.
You're on live radio. It's like
my first time ever.
Right. And it's not, you know, like you're trying to not get along with the host, but it's their show.
It was
so
awkward.
Like, yeah.
It was awkward
You're
for
like,
me.
what are you going to do? Like,
and then I didn't go back on after that. And
right.
I love Jeff.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back on.
You will.
I do love Jeff.
It is scary though for housewives now, like on podcasts and everything. Like it gets brought into like that world.
Oh my God. People get so mad
It's
and
nuts.
so angry. I have to say, like, we all did a little first season. But I think everyone now just gets it. It's like we all have to talk about the experience. We're going to have different opinions. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of nice that we're all like getting over that. I think most of the people on our cast, like we're all pretty rational.
Yeah.
But we're like a pretty normal group of girls, which is pretty rare
Totally.
for housewives.
I would argue maybe the most normal.
Maybe. I mean, there's some of us that are a little kooky.
At moments, for sure. But I feel like, if you could take someone, if you had to, not if you could, if you had to pluck a woman from the OG legacy Real Housewives of New York, who would you bring
The
in?
only woman that I think would make sense is probably like a Tinsley. Just
She's like in your age,
age-wise, you know?
Yeah. Okay, if you couldn't do Tinsley, who would it be?
If I had to do like one of the OGs, I mean, for my own pleasure, I would say like I'd love like a Sonia.
I mean, Sonia makes it so no one else on the show has to do shit.
Great.
Yeah. She is a one-man show.
I would just enjoy it.
Right.
You know, I saw her out east and she was like, excuse me, who are you? I'm like, I've met you so many times. Okay. Bye.
It's funny because like I'll interview them or just from other franchises and all that stuff. And I'm like, I don't know why I expect them to be different, you know what I mean? But they're exactly like they are on TV. Yeah. And I'm like, it shocks me every time.
I know.
It really shocks me.
It's really fun. Oh, I have to say I love Dorinda.
Oh, me too.
I actually really do. Like, just her. She's got a really good heart.
Yeah, I like her a lot.
She's really like a nice person.
Totally.
Yeah,
and I love her Christmas obsession. I like the whole thing.
She's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm into it. Who do you think from your cast changed the most from season 1 to season 2?
Oof. Can I plead the fifth on this one?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
You absolutely can.
It'll get me into trouble, but there is someone in mind, so.
Yeah. I think I can kind of imagine who that would be. I feel like that's always the biggest change, season 1 to season 2. I mean, even just aesthetics wise, because you see yourself on TV and you're like I will say, like, I did not recognize Jessel. Obviously, I recognized her, but she just looked so different. She looks wonderful.
She looks really good.
She looks amazing.
She looks beautiful.
Seeing myself on TV, like, was that hard for you?
Weirdly, no.
Wow.
I mean, like, obviously I don't like how I look in every scene, but I'm just like, whatever.
I mean, you're gorgeous, but it's like, I feel like that would be jarring for me. Like, I'd be
Yeah.
like,
There were some scenes where I'm like, really?
yeah.
I mean, but like, I also just like, I don't know, like these things don't rile me up so much. Just even like the things that I see some of the girls get into with each other, it's like, who cares? Like, just move on.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just not, I don't know. There are other things that rile me up and those aren't them.
Yeah. Like, I feel like when you're on a reality show, you have to care about little things,
Yeah.
right? Like,
yeah, of course. I mean, like, I'm like the weirdo that gets upset about this whole thing with Jenna with the Uber.
right.
Because it's like, that's my character. That's not what I said. Like
Right.
that like makes my blood boil.
No, I'd freak
That's
the
what
fuck
gets
out.
me going.
Yeah, of course.
But it's like, I don't know, seeing me at myself on TV and like, I don't care as
that
much
little
about
stuff.
that. Yeah.
Totally. Okay, so is there a moment that you said something or like that you regret having on camera?
I mean, yeah, like a few things. Like obviously the way that it was portrayed with the whole like Jenna's flying first looked so much cattier than what it really was. Everyone knew she flew first.
Right.
I was just delivering the message for TV.
Shoot the messenger, right.
You know, like it was like I was supposed to say it. So I said it. That was annoying. I mean, the Jessel gang up stuff was kind of annoying to me because like I didn't really care that much.
Yeah.
And I didn't really say that much, but I was really looped into it. Other than that, though.
Let's talk about mezcaloom.
Yeah.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Mescaloom.
Mezcaloom.
Yeah. Tulum in a bottle.
I mean, that's incredible. I love that. I'm a tequila person for
Then
sure.
You're going to be a mezcal person.
I want to try it really badly.
I was a tequila person.
Really? And then you switched to mezcal.
I switched because I found out that tequila has a lot of hidden additives that they don't disclose.
Really?
That's
You
why I
think it's
stopped
like
drinking. No, it
all
does.
like
All of it
agave
does.
and like natural shit?
Not.
No.
No, because by Mexican law, tequila only has to be 51% pure agave. So that leaves 49% of tons of hidden additives. I mean, you can, once you know, you start really knowing.
You can't unsee it.
You taste it. I mean, it has to say additive free, which some of them do, like Casa Dragones I like.
Okay.
But most of them don't.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, smart of you to create your own drinks. Then you can like have that at every restaurant.
It's everywhere in New York. We're not in LA yet. And by Mexican law, mezcal has to be 100% pure. So like any mezcal, even if you don't drink ours, mezcal just generally is better for you.
I went to Oaxaca recently and
You did?
Yeah, and I had
the food's amazing, right?
It's so
Oh my
good.
gosh.
I mean, you can't not eat pork. Like, I don't know if I was filled with chilaquiles. Like, and
I love chilaquiles.
Oh my God.
Oh
like
my God, I love
it was coming out of my pores by
It's
the
just
end. And
the
mezcal.
Food. And mezcal,
So
yeah.
good.
So ours is the one thing that deterred me from mezcal was that it was so smoky, like overwhelmingly. And sometimes I just like want to have a Bloody Maria without like that vibe.
Right.
Ours is not very smoky at all. I'll send you some bottles.
I would
It's just like
love.
tequila. It's
Okay.
literally just better version of tequila.
What's something that you do when you drink mezcal that you wouldn't do normally?
What I eat a lot more at the end of the night. I mean, I have a party vibe. Like I'm a party girl at heart. So
I know. I love that about you.
I love to go out and dance. Like I love to have girls' nights with my friends. Like
You're fun.
I like to have fun.
Yeah.
You know? I'm not getting sloshed anymore. But
No, I'm just more friendly, which I like
Yeah.
sometimes regret.
No, it's good.
I know, but I like the other day I went to a wedding and I actually drank mezcal.
Did you?
And
I love that.
was like taking pictures with everyone.
That's so fun.
I was
I
like,
bet everyone
God.
loved you.
I mean, yes. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, I like can't maintain that. Like, because once you see me in daylight, I'm like, actually, I'm nothing like that.
No, you
Sorry.
are. You're very friendly.
Oh, no. Okay. So I have a couple random questions. Fill in the blank. I need to get better at.
I need to get better at not eating late at night.
Same.
It's
Do you
a
order in?
bad
Like, you like
vice.
it?
No, I cook a lot, but I'm snacking
Okay.
late.
Me too.
It's terrible.
All my calories, nearly all
It's
my
my
calories are
worst
consumed between like
habit.
7 p.m. and midnight.
Why?
I know.
It's terrible.
I know.
Sometimes I'm like eating snacks in bed.
I smoke weed, which is really
You
an
do?
issue. Oh, yeah.
See,
That's not New York.
No, you know, there's a lot of people in New York that love weed more here, but weed makes me paranoid.
Yeah. I know. I wish
used to
it made me
smoke
paranoid.
growing up. I don't know. It's something switched for me, and I just can't.
I know most of my friends and family are exactly like that, but and then it makes me eat even more, and it's a disaster. Okay, if you could snap your fingers and be anywhere in the world right now, where would it be?
Right now, I want to go like to a beach somewhere. So maybe like the Maldives.
Oh, I love
I
that
just want to relax.
completely.
Yeah.
On average, how many times a week do you humiliate yourself?
A lot.
I think more than the average bear. Like a lot.
No, I do stupid shit.
I think the more you open your mouth, which for me and you is a lot, like the more you embarrass yourself.
I just like, sometimes I'm like, I don't remember people, which is really embarrassing. I hate that. Or like I'll slip in front of people.
How about when people say like, do you remember me? And you're like, yeah, because that's the polite thing to say.
I always
and then
say,
they say, what's my name?
That's never happened to me. That's terrible.
That should be illegal.
That's not right.
No, that is.
Why would anyone want to do that to themselves?
I know, to themselves even.
Terrible.
Maybe that's just like people over the age of 60 do that. I don't know. But
I could see that.
You know, that's like my worst fear.
Like, do you remember my name?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
okay, Grandma.
No, I hate that. How many French fries do you eat in one bite?
Oh, I can have like 4.
4 at once.
If they're thin.
Yeah, thin.
You know, but not thick ones. Those I go slow.
I don't like things that are too close to the potato. I don't like when they're potato-y fry. I like a thin fry. You know, I don't want to chew through
I know what you mean. I prefer a thin fry.
Like Katz's Deli, too thick.
Oh, are they? I don't think I've gotten fries there.
Oh,
I didn't even know they had fries.
Yeah.
I love Katz's.
Me too.
PJ Bernstein is a close second.
I haven't been there.
Maybe better.
Is that really?
Yeah, it's like the same kind of food. But
okay, I need to. Next time I'm in New York, will you like show me the ropes?
We'll go out.
Okay, because I like don't know it well enough. I go there so much.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Okay, what is hiding under your bed? Like, what are you afraid of?
I don't have any space under my bed for anything. What am I afraid of? Roaches and mice.
You really do live in New York.
I'm terrified.
Yeah.
And they fly in the summer.
Ooh.
Roaches.
Roaches fly?
Yes.
Ooh.
It's terrifying.
See, that's why New Yorkers are like tougher.
No, it's terrifying. I can't explain the
And like
fear.
the bed bugs of it all? Terrifying.
That hasn't happened to me, but the roaches on the street in the summer when it's hot, I can't explain.
Do you kill them or do you just let them?
No.
Okay.
You run.
They're like too
far.
big.
They're like birds.
Really?
They're like this big.
See, we don't have any of that. We don't have any of that flora and fauna.
It's so gross.
Well, thank you for doing this. You're the best.
Fun.
This was so fun. And when I'm in New York, thank you. Right? He's like a weighted blanket. You can borrow him anytime.
He's so awesome.
I know. He's truly an angel.
He is.
Okay. Thank you so much. Bye. Bye, everybody.